Hi neighbors, this is Jessica in Communications for the City of Battle Creek, and this is the City Commission regular agenda preview for Tuesday, May 7th. If you're new to these preview videos or need a reminder about the different parts of our agendas, check out the link to our introduction video down in the description box. You can follow along with the agendas on our website, battlecreekmi.gov. Visit the Your Government tab, Mayor and Commission, then Agendas, Minutes, and Videos. Click under Online Agenda for the date of the agenda you want to see. The Commission meeting starts at 7 p.m. in the Commission chambers at City Hall, which is up on the 3rd floor. The Commission will present 3 proclamations. One is for Mental Health Awareness Month. The second is for Professional Municipal Clerks Week, which is next week, May 5th through 11th. And our clerk's office manages the city's elections, Freedom of Information Act requests, special event and vendor permits, and more. And the third proclamation is for Police Officer Memorial Week, which is May 12th to 18th, and Police Officer Memorial Day, which is May 15th. The Commission will hear 2 presentations. The first is an update about the Beckley Road corridor study by Eric Kehoe, a senior planner with our consultant for the project, Progressive AE. And the second presentation is the quarterly presentation from our Revenue Services Director, Aaron Kuhn, to share the interim financial statements. The Commission will hold 2 public hearings. The first is to gather comments on an application for tax exemption for 12 years for a speculative building in the Fort Custer Industrial Park at 201 Watkins Road. The building will be 252,000 square feet, and a spec building means that it could host an industrial tenant to operate there. They're not going into it with someone who's going to operate there. The second public hearing is to gather public comments on the 2024 Annual Action Plan from our Community Development Division. This plan outlines the proposed use of federal funds we receive from the Community Development Block Grant and Home Investment Partnership programs, which most often help with low and moderate income housing needs in the city. The Commission will consider 1 ordinance introduction. So this is the first vote on this item of 2. Proposed Ordinance 07-2024 considers a change to Chapter 208 in our city ordinances related to purchasing, contracts, and sales, allowing an exemption to prevailing wage provisions. And prevailing wage is the average wage that is paid to similar workers in a particular location. Introducing and passing this change does not exempt any project from our prevailing wage ordinance, but it would allow the Commission to give an exemption in unique circumstances. And this is being proposed on May 7th related to a unique project related to the Blue Oval site. It requires work at our Verona pumping station because we are working with helping provide water service to that site. And most of the work at Verona will be paid for by the Marshall Area Economic Development Alliance, so it doesn't fall into our prevailing wage ordinance. However, the city will pay for and approve the contract for a small part of that work. Despite that, though, the 2 parts of the project are related, and it would be more expensive to do them separately. So the city is looking to allow this exemption because about 90% of the work will be done by union workers. The Commission will consider 2 ordinance adoptions. This is the second vote on both of these items. They introduced these at the April 16th regular City Commission meeting. Proposed Ordinance 05-2024 involves updates to Chapter 1610 in our city ordinances around burning and the International Fire Code to meet requirements by that code and state of Michigan law. There are a few significant changes. One is that the city will no longer charge for burn permits. Those are currently $25. And second, we can charge a fee to neighbors who do not put out a fire when directed to do so by the Battle Creek Fire Department. We will still allow recreational fires with strict rules about their size and distance from buildings. And we still do not allow burning of leaves and grass clippings within city limits. Proposed Ordinance 06-2024 considers developing a community oversight board, which has been under discussion for several years. The board's purpose would be to give input on community relations complaint investigations filed with the police department. They could also discuss police officer conduct without a complaint and would be proactive in seeing potential problems and building relationships with law enforcement. If this ordinance is adopted, a timeline will follow to seek board members for this board, train those members, and potentially hold a first meeting in late summer or early fall. Our consent agenda for May 7th includes minutes from a previous meeting, the city manager's report for the evening, the Planning and Zoning Division 2023 annual report, and the ambulance report for March 2024, and resolutions 432 and 433. 432 considers setting a public hearing during the May 21st regular City Commission meeting to gather public comments about the city's proposed budget for the 2024-25 financial year. 433 considers a contract to upgrade the internet speed at City Fire Stations 2 through 6 at a 3-year cost of $76,500. And finally, we have our regular resolutions, numbers 434 to 440. Reso 434 considers approving the 2024 annual action plan from our Community Development Division after the public hearing held earlier in this meeting. Reso 435 considers the application for tax exemption for 12 years for a speculative building in the Fort Custer Industrial Park at 201 Watkins Road, also after the public hearing held earlier in this meeting on that issue. Reso 436 considers revoking an obsolete property Rehabilitation Act tax exemption for Bijou Lofts for the property at 17 West Michigan Avenue. Redevelopment of that site did not take place, and Bijou Lofts is no longer under contract to develop the property. This would allow Battle Creek Unlimited to pursue new development options there. Reso 437 considers a 5-year contract to continue providing the city's assessing services with WCA Assessing at a total cost of $3.1 million. We began our contract relationship with WCA Assessing in 2021. Reso 438 considers a contract to buy fat, oil, and grease odor control chemicals for the city's wastewater treatment plant at an estimated first-year cost of $205,000. Reso 439 considers a special use permit to allow a substance abuse treatment center for both inpatient and outpatient services at 5470 Glen Cross Road. It would serve up to 20 inpatient residents, so it falls under review of transitional and supportive housing for more than 6 people. The previous use of the building was similar to this. And Reso 440 considers holding a closed session at the end of this meeting to discuss 2 legal matters. One is related to a pending legal case in federal court, and the other is related to a negotiation of one of the city's collective bargaining agreements. That's everything on the agenda for the May 7th regular City Commission meeting. For more information and to see more details and documents related to each agenda item, please check it out online or get a paper copy in the City Clerk's office at City Hall. Thanks for joining me for this City Commission agenda preview for May 7th, 2024. Watch the City Commission live or as replays on the City of Battle Creek, Michigan YouTube channel and get connected with your City of Battle Creek.